My camera shuts off recording after 20 minutes, so I keep this.
Oh, gotcha.
This stopwatch going. Okay. I'll kind of intro it here. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Before Noon presents the Happy Brew Shack Fun Time Show. Took a little bit of a hiatus because I've got the kiddo is about 2 years old now, so it's really hard to shoot and edit episodes. But got contacted by Brett here at the Portland Growler Company, and Brett said, "Hey, you want to come down and shoot some video?" So here we are. So Brett, introduce yourself first, but I have a problem. I have a really big problem. I've been transporting my beer in this tiny jar. Is there any way you can hook me up?
I can. This is one of our beauties that we make.
Oh my God.
So you can transport it in style.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So that is nice. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your growlers and I'll get us a little bit of beer.
Yeah, so we make these here in Northeast Portland. They're stoneware, so they're really sturdy. We cast them pretty thick so that they also hold in the cold. So if you're taking it out camping or to the beach or something like that, it's going to retain its temperature longer.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to store it in there indefinitely, but no UV is getting in there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
As opposed to the glass containers, and you're definitely popular when you walk into a brewery.
No
I think
kidding.
everyone's usually asking you where you got it.
I mean, my good friend Zach has one, and I was like, that's the sickest looking growler I've ever seen. So, yeah.
There was actually one point in time when I almost gotten sick of people asking about it. So I'd going to do a fill with my hoodie, and I'd be all quiet and be like, "Here you go, Mr. and Mrs. Bartender." Hand it to them. And then people would be like, "Ooh, hey, what's that?
Where'd you
What's
get
that?
that?"
Talk about that. I'm like, gosh darn it, I was just trying to get home for the evening.
Well, here I got a towel here.
Yeah,
so it's
awesome.
It's 9 in the morning. So I told Brett that this is a beer show, so we'd have a little bit of beer. But so we're just gonna kind of sip on some beer while we're talking here. So
It smells good.
thank you. So when did you start Portland Growler Company?
We started it. What would it be? About 5 years ago. So we had already started. My friend Chris and I had already started Mud Shark Studios, which is basically we are a private label production studio. So clients can bring us any idea that they want made out of clay.
Right.
And we would make 1 or 1,000 or as many as they want.
Oh wow.
And it's under their label. So about 5 years into that, we had employees and our friends were working with us, and we were all kind of thinking, why don't we design something for ourselves instead of just doing everything for other people? So it started out, we just started meeting in the backyard over a 12-pack of beer.
Yeah.
Made a big list of 50 random objects, anything from a plate to a vase to a growler.
Yeah.
And as we kind of whittled that down, the growler
Nice.
came to the top. And so then once we identified growler, then it was what kind of shape,
Yeah.
And we knew it was kind of a leap for people to go from the traditional glass growler
Right. Yeah.
to ceramic, because we really hadn't seen them before. So the shape is kind of inspired after an old whiskey jug style.
Totally.
So we kind of wanted some tradition in there to
It's
kind of instinctively
it's got that shape where I just expect 3 X's on every one of those growlers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's definitely Portland is the place to be if you're going to do growlers.
Yeah.
And you said you sell a lot of them online too.
We do a lot of them online, and with branding with the breweries and whatnot, we really ship them all over the world. A couple years back, we did a big project with BrewDog in England.
Yeah, we know BrewDog.
Yeah, and
they have the beer that's in the. Have you seen the taxidermy squirrel?
Yeah.
It's like a 40% beer. It's like, what the hell?
Yep.
It's a whiskey at that point, I think.
Yeah, totally.
So you did stuff for them?
Yeah, so we did some BrewDog growlers. And,
oh, that's totally cool.
years back we did some Rogue Growlers.
I think I've seen the Rogue ones around.
What's kind of fun is like we see the growler laws pass in each state because we see them with sales.
Definitely.
So we noticed, I think it was about a year ago that like Florida passed.
Right.
So we got a bunch down there with Cigar City.
Oh, very cool.
And that's a pretty cool
Or
brand.
you're throwing out some pretty big names here, Brad. Cigar City.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
feel
good.
kind of naive. I mean, I'm more of like a clay nerd. So
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Cigar City is known for their IPAs, their big stuff, and it's something that we can't get out here, so they don't distribute. So
okay.
they're actually very highly sought after. That's cool.
Yeah.
So kind of talk us through. So if I came to you and I said I want to have this mass produced, what would you laugh at me?
I would not. I would probably laugh behind closed doors, but I wouldn't laugh at you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that would be something we could say. You know, I would. The way that I objectively approach something like that,
objectively,
right, is I'd say, well, it's going to take this much time to clean,
right.
And okay, if you want those crackles, it's another 5 minutes of time or whatever, you know. So that'd be how we come up with a price.
This was my first sculpture that was on display whenever I was in college. I made this, and it's I called it 6 feet under with a 3-inch lift. And I was in a bad spot relationship wise, and I was like, I'll make a high heel shoe coffin. And there was actually, I think I made a lid for it, but it totally broke. So, but anyway.
Awesome. It's actually it's better than my first clay piece.
So
don't, don't feel embarrassed.
So this is professional, and this is brewshack amateur at best. So I know the kilning process and molding it. So how is it different when you actually have a mold? I've never done ceramic in a mold.
Sure. So we start with like an original object. So we would we could wheel throw one on the potter's wheel,
right?
And then you make a plaster mold of that. So in the case of the growler, it's three mold parts sort of. So you've got 2 mold parts that come apart this way and this way, and then you got a mold part that comes off the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So and then we attach the handle on separately,
right?
Just like we would back in pottery class, like scratch and attach and
Oh, the scratch! Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So really, the same kind of thing. What's cool about slip casting is you fill the mold all the way up with the liquid clay, and the longer you leave it in, the thicker it'll get.
Oh, okay.
Because what's happening is the plaster is sucking out the water from the outside in.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. So it's slowly building up clay walls.
Outside,
right?
it's like osmosis or something.
Yeah, it's just wicking the moisture out, and that's turning into clay, and the rest is still liquid.
Right.
And then so after a couple hours, because we want it nice and thick, we dump it out, and that's how we end up with a hollow vessel.
Wow.
And then everything else is the same. It goes to the potter's wheel. This all gets trimmed.
Right.
It took us a while to really master, but I mean the angle. This is so important. The thickness and this dimension to get a proper seal.
Got it.
And the hardest thing with doing something like this, where you got to have the precision for that seal, is everything's going to shrink when it's fired.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
So what it feels like it's going to look like now in the dimensions is not what it's going to look like in the end. So the trimmers and as we make them, we've got to kind of estimate what it's going to become. We've done enough of them now that we know where it's going to end up after it's got glaze on it. But
no, that's totally cool.
Yeah.
So we've made our mold. We've got our clay in there. We dry it, and then it's kilned.
Yeah, well, then it goes to the wheel first.
Oh, okay.
So that's when it gets trimmed, handle gets put on.
Okay.
Then it gets dried, put in the kiln once, and that's what we're looking at here.
Right.
These have all been fired the first time, so these are basically ready to be dipped into glaze.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we apply color, essentially.
Gotcha. Yeah, we didn't have any food-safe glaze whenever I was doing stuff, because I always wanted to make cups or something. And
No,
you will die. You'll die if you have that. Well, that's cool. All right, so we've gone through, we've kilned, we've dried it, we've done everything else, and then we just attach the swing top to it. That's it?
Yeah, and get it in the box.
So so from start to finish, how long does the process take?
Well, so calendar days, it takes about 12 days.
12 days.
From like casting, it dries a little bit, it's trimmed on the wheel, dries again.
Got it.
It's fired, that's roughly a 24-hour process. It's dipped, it's fired, it's put in a box.
Yep.
Maybe you could condense that into like 7 days if you're really rushing it along. the amount of time that's actually spent on one is probably at least, what would it be? At least 15 minutes. Just to trim one and attach the handle. That's about 10 minutes of work.
Oh, wow.
So like one of my faster trimmers
Right.
will trim 40 or 50 in a day, and that's like rock star.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So when you started, how much are you actually doing anymore? Or are you boss man?
Kind of boss man at this point.
I know the feeling.
It's kind of weird. It's a lot of responsibility. No, you
Is
don't.
it? Yeah. So did you have any kind of business background before you guys started?
No. So that's all been learned.
Yeah. Well, on the job training, right?
Yeah, it's on the job training. What, School of Hard Knocks, right?
Oh God.
But yeah, I think honestly, if we probably had a business background, we probably would have never done anything like this.
Yeah, that's true. I
I think like, coming from the creative background is what gets you to do something that might be silly,
right.
or out there in the beginning, and then
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
tough to grow, and you have to mature it.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of small businesses get started. It's just like the passion, because obviously you loved working in ceramics and doing it before, and now it's like you get to do what you love for work. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Brett.
No, you're
just
not
putting
at
beer
all.
in your mouth. But
Beer's fine.
Yeah.
No, I do love it. I love doing what we do.
That's
It's
awesome.
It's really special.
So do you have any? So you've lived in Portland for how long now at this point?
11
11 years.
11 years, yeah.
What's your favorite brewery here in town?
Gosh, well, I'm excited. Just around the corner from me, Montevilla Brew Works.
Oh,
just
yeah,
opened
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So
They're
I'm starting
nice.
to check out that one.
You're pretty close to the Commons down here too. Have you ever checked them out?
I haven't been up there yet. No.
What's your favorite beer style?
I'm an IPA guy.
You're an IPA.
Yeah.
You should go up to Great Notion. They in no way sponsor this show.
I'll have to give them.
I'm joking. Yeah. No. So that's cool. So we can find you online at portlandgrowlercompany.com,
Yep.
right? You
Yeah,
do
that's
orders. And how customizable can people get when they're doing their growlers?
Well, we're about to launch. It's like a wedding package sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Breweries and wholesale orders, they can customize with any sort of decaling and imagery
Right.
on these. I've got those that
Oh, yeah,
Wilson
yeah.
over there that we're doing is pretty cool.
I'll grab it real quick.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, and so each company can they can really customize the body of it, and in their case they've done, and this is kind of a cool one for a few reasons. Thank you. It's the first time that we've worked with a company where we wanted two-tone.
I'll hold it up a little bit. So
Yeah,
sorry.
so they wanted a two-tone, so we did the two colors,
That's
and then
right.
we're able to get the logo on here. We can also do a logo on the lid, and in this case, they wanted something on the back. I've noticed actually we send to breweries out of state. Some of them want the Surgeon General warning
Oh,
on there. 'Cause
right,
some
yeah.
states you actually have to have that on there. But what we wanted a kind of like a lower entry point because these companies, they're ordering a minimum of 24 to get a wholesale price.
Oh, okay.
So we started the wedding package thing because we do get a lot of requests.
Really?
For, so and so wants their
That's cool.
me plus you on there
Yeah.
kind of thing.
That's a rad idea. Actually.
Yeah, and so the entry level there I think is like 6 to 8 growlers. It's not the full
Oh, yeah.
wholesale rate,
Right.
but you're definitely getting a good
That's
discount
cool.
off retail, and then you can just send us what you want on there.
That's
which is kind of fun.
so cool.
Yeah.
So if I had a small brewshack logo,
Yeah, baby.
oh baby,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that we can get one of those on.
Oh,
there for
nice.
sure. That'd
So-
be easy.
So we were talking. So I've met with Brett before, and just want to plug the podcast that we do, the Portland Beer Club podcast, and hopefully we're going to have Brett on to talk about his growlers on the podcast too. So make sure and check that out. Can we find you on Facebook? You have Instagram?
All the above. Yeah.
All the above. Who
Yeah.
does your shooting for Instagram? Do you do it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Nicole.
Nicole
probably.
does a lot of that. Yeah. The Instagram stuff's still fun. So even as an owner, you still kind of want
Yeah.
part in that.
Oh, yeah,
'cause it's
totally.
it's kind of the fun part.
So, so we can order them online.
We got them at retail here in the gallery.
Oh, you
too.
sell them in the gallery?
Yeah.
So we're actually down here in Portland, and this is 20th and what?
20th and Northeast Oregon.
20th and Northeast Oregon. Okay, so there's actually what's the studio name? I can't pronounce it.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. So in the back here, it's Mud Shark.
Okay.
The gallery in the front is Eutectic.
Eutectic.
Eutectic. Yeah. We tried to pick the hardest name to pronounce.
Well, it pops up on all your emails at the bottom. Like, what the hell does that say?
hell is that word?
That's all right.
I
couldn't-
get eclectic.
Eclectic,
Or you
yeah.
know, people reading it. Yeah.
I couldn't pronounce charcuterie for I still can't do it.
I still can't either,
Can you?
so
Yeah.
don't feel
But anyway,
bad. Yeah.
no, I think that's that's awesome. So I've got my growler. I suggest everyone goes and gets their growler. Not just beer either. You can put coffee in there. How does
Yeah.
it hold? Does hot liquids hold up pretty
Hot
well?
liquids is pretty good. I actually take it to my little Montevilla farmers market and get
Oh,
kombucha
nice.
sometimes.
Ooh, yeah.
I love filling it with kombucha. Yeah.
You ever tried to make kombucha? Have you seen a SCOBY before?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
All right. Well, anything else?
Nothing I can think of. No.
Cool.
No.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Instagram, it's at Before Noon Brew. So if Brett's never watched the show, I talk and then the credits roll over it, and I tell them where they can contact me. So it's Before Noon presents the Happy Brew Shack Fun Time Show. This is Nooner and Brett, and we're going to hang out here and drink a little beer at 9:30 on a Sunday morning, and just look at all these growlers. Wow, how do you? That's a lot of growlers.
Sea of growlers.
It's a sea of growlers. You ever get angry and just smash one? Is that
Oh, yeah.
therapeutic?
Oh yeah, and there's always one that you can usually find one that's defective around.
Right.
When you have so many, you're like, and it is. It's just like break
You
it.
get it out. Yeah, out front I noticed all the broken pieces.
The
of
shards.
ceramic.
Yeah. The graveyard.
Yeah.
Ceramic graveyard. I think.
That's funny. So we're still scrolling through the credits. What else do we got upcoming? Portland Beer Club podcast. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and that should be good. Sweet. All right. Cheers, brother. Oh, the most awkward. And I gave a limp handshake. You seen Trump's grabbing?
Oh dear. Yeah.
Don't even get us started. All right.
Show will go a lot longer
I
if we
know.
go there.
Jeez. All right. Sweet. All right. Peace out, everyone.